Hey guys, how's everybody doing? It's Dave, Renegade Gig Hustler. Hey, I wanted to share a story, a true story, with everybody out there. As you all know, I'm a dasher. I'm an independent contractor. I do all the gig apps. But this one specifically about DoorDash. As you know, I'm a dasher, and I'm on both sides of the fence because I'm not only a dasher, but because I'm also a customer. And yesterday I was out doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, and I was got really bit busy had a number of great trips on DoorDash, and Uber was horrible as usual, and then it straightened out a little bit, and then I was able to get some pretty good paying trips with fair mileage and a good tip and everything. And I had a whole number of really good paying DoorDash trips with, it's not unusual, it's just I don't get them all the time. And so anyhow, I was making a video, which I haven't gotten up on my dash cam, off of my dash cam, haven't gotten it up to my YouTube channel yet. So anyhow, I was doing DoorDash yesterday. I've done that for like 4.5 years, and I was doing Uber Eats, and we had some Grubhubs coming in, but nothing that was, really paying out, worth taking. And it was getting later in the day. I was trying to keep it going into the dinner rush, and I messaged my wife, and I said, how about if we, order in tonight, we get whatever you're interested in. And her and I just looked at everything, and we decided we would get Applebee's. That's right, Applebee's off of DoorDash. We'll have it delivered. So anyhow, I gave her my device. I let her go on and look. I says, you get whatever you want, you throw it in the cart, and then I'll go in and get whatever I want and throw it in the cart. And so we did. And I ended up ordering a whiskey burger and some of Applebee's onion rings. And so, needless to say, I put the order in. Well, it took it a long time, guys. It took it a long time. I was really interested to see how long it would take, being I'm on both sides of the fence. One, I'm a dasher. On the other side of the fence, I'm a customer. So we go ahead and place the order. We paid and everything, and I took care of it, and waited a long time before a dasher was assigned, although Applebee's was making the food. Finally, I see on the DoorDash app that, the dasher was on another delivery, but it didn't list his name. It usually lists the dasher's name and everything, and it just didn't come up forever. Then finally, it says, I'm on heading for you. That's what it says on the Dasher app. Heading for you. So it wasn't until he was almost at my place as I was tracking him that I saw his name show up on, which I'm not going to mention his name. So anyhow, he finally gets to my place. Well, I had already tipped him on the app. Plus, I had about 4 or 5 ones in my pocket that I had from a tip from the previous week, and I just had them in my pocket for a long time. Somebody gave me an Uber Eats tip a long while back, and it was a cash tip, and I had used some of it, and I had the rest of it in my pocket. So finally, I go to my front door. I had the light on outside, and I told him, you'll see my address on my mailbox. You'll see the numbers all on my mailbox. So he came up the walk, and I opened my door, and he was just rounding the bend to come over to my door. And I thanked him and everything for bringing it, and I asked him if he was busy, and he said, no, not really, but I have one in the vehicle, and I'm going to be delivering that soon. And I told him to be safe, and I said, I know what you go through. I says, because I'm a dasher also. I was doing it today, and I did get some really good trips today on DoorDash. And he says, oh, you've been doing that long? Yeah. I said, 4.5 years. I says, Uber Eats almost 5 years. I said, I do all the gig apps. And I said, I know what it's like out there. I said, whatever you do, be safe. I said, here, take this too. I tipped you on the app and I handed him 4 ones. I said, so I already tipped you on the app and I gave him 4 ones. So he was already getting like a $9.50 tip, which is pretty dang good from considering from where he was delivering from over to my place. It isn't far. So I only live 5 minutes from here, and Applebee's is only right up the highway here. So just to give you an idea of the mileage and the distance. So he hands me a bag, and I said, is that everything? And he said, yes, that's everything. Well, the bag I saw was tied on the top and had an Applebee's sticker on it. So I said, all right, man, you take care. He said, what's your name? And I told him Dave, and he gave me a pound, and he told me his name. And I said, all right, brother. I said, you take care out there. I said, be safe. I said, I hope you get busy and make a lot of money. So anyhow, I get in my place, and I was holding the pup at the same time. I was holding our puppy, Sammy. So we finally went back in, and I locked my front door, and my wife was upstairs. She came down, and I had the bag sitting out on the kitchen counter, and I attempted to open up the bag, and she came into the kitchen, and I says, oh, man, they did it again. She said, what? I says, look, here's yours, which was chicken and broccoli and fried. It was a grilled chicken breast, and it was broccoli, and she had a side salad, which was in another container, and I had my onion rings. Well, there was no burger. There was no whiskey burger, and I was furious. Furious, guys. $16.79 for this whiskey burger. And I was really wanting that whiskey burger. Believe me, I was hungry. I was out working all day doing Uber Eats and DoorDash, so I was hungry. And at this point, guys, it's already I think 7:55, going on 8 o'clock. So anyhow, I'm so pissed. And I attempt to get on Uber Eats or on the DoorDash app, and I'm on there with support, and it's going through an automated thing, and I'm letting them know that I didn't get all of my order. And it went and asked me some other questions and what was missing, and I let them know it was the whiskey burger, and they weren't giving me the right options. And then I finished it, and it told me, we are unable to process a refund for this. Sorry for the inconvenience. And that was that. Well, that made me even more aggravated and irritated. And I'm saying to my wife, you know, some of these drivers out here, some of these dashers, some of these Uber Eats drivers, whatever you're doing, they don't check the food at the restaurant. They don't make sure they have everything. That's one thing I do. I'm thorough that way. Now, mind you, anything can happen to any of us at any time. So I'm even more furious now, because that's one thing I'm very careful with all the customers. I treat their food like it was if I was getting my food. I wouldn't want that to happen to me, which it did, and I'm surely not going to let that happen to them. So I make sure when I'm at the restaurant, I'm looking at everything they're supposed to be getting and making sure I get it. So that's something most dashers don't do, or most drivers don't do. So I'm looking around on there, and I'm eating my onion rings. My wife was eating hers. We were watching the TV. We were watching a show. I was streaming a show off my phone and on the Chromecast. And so finally, I'm able to reach out to the online support, on the app, off of the app. I went online and searched DoorDash, and I was on there. And then I waited a long time for a chat representative to come on there, and I explained to her everything that just went down, who I am and what just happened and what I'm missing. And long story short, guys, she comes on and she said, well, we'll have to appeal this. This could take 24 hours. I'm like, holy crap. I says, I got the receipt right here. I said, I messaged the driver after he left. He said, I don't have any more bags. I said, I'm missing my burger. And he said, I'm sorry, I don't have any more bags. That's what they gave me. And I told them, go on and look at the chat that I was having with him. And I said, I tipped him on the app, plus I gave him a cash tip. And so I'm even more furious. So that was another $9.50. We did get the rest of our stuff, but I was out that $16.79 on that burger and whatever tax. So I get an email this morning, guys, from DoorDash saying about the same thing. We are sorry for the inconvenience and everything that took place, but due to whatever, we are unable to process a refund for you. We surely hope you understand, and we surely hope that doesn't affect you ordering again on DoorDash. Well, it sure does, guys, because this has happened a number of times to us, and they've also left our orders many times at the wrong place, and I couldn't even get the dasher, who was only down the street, to come back and bring it to me and put it at the right place. And I give specific directions on the app as to where to leave it. And so I made sure that I checked last night, hand to me. Make sure you hand it to me. Now, this is something that I'm very up on and do all the time, is follow the instructions and follow the notes. How hard is it, guys? So I'm just really furious about the fact that I'm not only a dasher, but as a customer, I did not get customer satisfaction in any way. I thought DoorDash support was totally awful, totally horrible. This is one time that they did not side with the customer. There were other times when they didn't side with me, and I'm being thoroughly honest in everything with them. And I called the restaurant. I called Applebee's. Applebee's said there were 2 bags. There were 3 things in one bag, and your burger was in the other bag. So, what gives, guys? Did the dasher take my burger? The restaurant claims everything was there. How do you feel about it? Leave it in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on this, guys. And have you been on both sides of the fence? Do you work in the gig economy? Do you do Uber Eats and DoorDash and Grubhub and all the apps? And then turn around and work those apps and then go home and order yourself? And has this happened to you? Let me know in the comments below, guys. I'd like to know your thoughts. But needless to say, in the meantime, I had ordered a pizza at a local pizza place in our town. A Casey's Pizza that is very popular in Turtle Creek where I live. And so I had to put out money for that, which didn't take long for the pizza. It was about 40 minutes, and it was really great. It's a great pizza. It was piping hot when I got it, and put the driver a tip on the app, or on the, when I called up to order it, she charged me on my card, and I added the tip. So he was only coming up from the lower part of Turtle Creek into the upper part of Turtle Creek to deliver it to me. So anyhow, guys, so I had to put out for that, and I even told support that I had to order. Now I had to order a pizza from a local pizza shop so I could have some dinner. So the other part was that the food was kind of cold. And that was probably because he was on another delivery, and he basically was kind of slow getting to our place. So the whole process on the DoorDash took probably over an hour. And so only to find out that I didn't get my whiskey burger. And now, after 2 attempts, did not get nothing refunded back to my card from DoorDash. So as you see, I'm on both sides of the fence, and I just like to know your thoughts on it, guys, and know where you're at on this. But me personally, that would be something I would never let happen, because I thoroughly check all the customers' food at the restaurant, making sure I get everything, and anything's possible. But you can often pick up a sealed bag at a restaurant, and you ask the restaurant employee, is everything in here for the customer? And they'll say yes when something isn't. But verifying it, as I did calling the restaurant, they did indicate that, yes, there were 2 bags. And one bag just contained the whiskey burger. The other one had 3 things in it, which it did. The one bag with the 3 things in it, you wouldn't have been able to get another container of food in it because it was jam-packed and just able to get a little tie on the top of it from the bag handle. So that was my experience last night, guys, on DoorDash. And that has been my experience a lot of times on DoorDash, and did not get a good experience from the Dasher many times, and I'm just sharing that with you. And anyhow, next time I will go pick it up. I'm used to picking up food as an Uber Eats driver, as a Dasher, as a Grubhub driver, as Walmart Spark driver, Amazon Flex, Instacart, and all the many other apps that I've done close to 5 years. So let me know your thoughts, guys, and I hope this doesn't happen to you, but hopefully you enjoyed me sharing my experience with you. And until I see you later, you guys all take care.